And an auditor will be looking to see if those things are correct, making sure we're not trying to hide information. Next one is supplies on the 4th. So March 4th, 2012, journal, page 1. General journal column debit, $78. Supplies is an asset and it has a debit balance. So I'm going to put an X through the credit side. And I now have a debit balance of $78. Account number 130. We'll go back to the journal post-reference column, indicating where I placed it. The second part of that transaction on the 4th is accounts payable. That's on the bottom of the sheet. Yeah, we got page 60 on the bottom of page 60 in the ledgers. March 4th, 2012, journal, page 1. I look back at my journal, I see the general column, and it's a credit, $78. So I'm going to go into my ledger and write in $78 in the credit side. This is an accounts payable. Accounts payable is a liability account. Liabilities have a positive side on the credit side, so I'm going to put an X through the debit side of the balance columns. And now I have a normal credit balance of $78. The account number is 210, and I will come back to my journal post-reference column and write in 210. On the 8th, it is done for us because we do not have any general debit or credit to post, so we have that check mark there. We skip it. That indicates it's not something we post. On the 9th, accounts receivable, Danielle Brosted. So I'll go to accounts receivable, March 9th, 2012. Post-reference journal, page 1. And I look back at my journal, general debit column of $163. So I'll go to my ledger and put for a debit $163. Accounts receivable is an asset account, so the positive or normal balance side is the debit side. So I'll cross off the credit side so I don't put any numbers there. And I'm adding to my debit, so 163 debit balance now. Account number 120 goes back in the post-reference column on General Journal, page 1. Next one, rent expense. Switch sheets. Page 61 on the 12th. So I'm going to put in March 12, 2012. This comes from Journal, page 1. And then it tells me on the journal the number is in the debit column in the general section, 375, debit 375 in my ledger. Rent expense is an owner's equity, but it decreases capital, so its positive side is the debit side because that's the decrease size to capital. So I'm going to put a positive on debit and put an X through credit and increase my debit balance of 375. The account number 510 goes back in the post-reference column. Accounts payable is next on the 15th to Joshua Supplies. No, I don't think I erased this one earlier. Sorry. And I had to start, oh no, I did too. This is on the 15th, isn't it? Oh, okay, I'm good. So I got the 15th, and notice when I add the date on to Joshua's account, I don't put March again. I don't put the year, I just put the day number, the 15th. When I change and go into April, then I would, when I change months, I would put April and then whatever the day is. But otherwise, this is indicating that we're still in March. Then I'll go over to the post-reference column and indicate that this is from journal page 1. And it is a debit of $50 according to the journal. And notice these two are different. One's a debit, one's a credit. When they're the opposite, you have one debit and one credit, you end up subtracting. So 78 minus 50 will be 28. So now I got a balance of 28. When they're the same, you add. When they're different, you subtract. Account number 210. Next one, accounts receivable. Danielle, on the 16th. So I'll find hers again. Once again, I don't repeat the date or the month and year. I just repeat, sorry, I just indicate what day it is, the 16th. The journal page 1. And this is a credit of $100. And note, my balance is a debit, but I'm crediting now, and they're the opposite, so I subtract. 163 minus 100 would be $63 balance now. Then I take the account number 120, and I put it in the journal's post-reference column. The next one is Leonard Witkowski, drawing. We haven't done that one yet, on the 25th. So we have to put in March 25th, 2012, journal page 1, and we said $1,000 drawing. Drawing is an owner's equity account. It decreases the capital account, so its decrease of capital account is to debit it. So that's the positive side to a drawing account. So the positive side is the debit side because that'll eventually decrease capital. And I will X the credit side out. And since it matches debit, debit, I'm going to add it. 320 is the account number, and I'll go back to the journal post-reference column and put in 320. That ends the individual items, and it also looks like it ends our lesson 4-2 together. You're going to use this again in 4-3. So try the On Your Own 4-2. And once again, I'm sure you'll use that one in On Your Own 4-3.